What's up, guys? Today I feel like talking about a couple different things that I've been learning in my life lately in hopes that it will help you. The fun thing about this self-improvement journey is that you're always a work in progress. There's never a day when you just figure it out. There's always more to learn, and you're always applying the things that you learn from your own personal journey, whether it be life lessons or things you learn from watching and observing other people. You're going to revisit certain things in your life time after time after time. And a big thing that I talk about in my videos is this concept of self-sabotage, or basically beating your bad habits or they'll beat you. And what I've been learning lately is a lot about pain and suffering. And before I jump into that, I recently heard a quote, let's say, that actually summarized a lot of, what I had been thinking in my life up until that point. The quote was, "The pain of discipline or discomfort is nothing compared to the pain of regret." And I think a big thing that people like myself and others that struggle with self-sabotage or, going through the journey of breaking down bad habits and belief systems internally is that we often carry this sense of like regret of like, oh shit, I should have, not done that. I shoulda, coulda, woulda type thing. And what that leads to is a lot of shame. And I just want to kind of give a quick lesson that like when you live in shame, when you have this feeling of being ashamed of yourself or frustrated with yourself, it causes you to feel stuck. And when you feel stuck in your life, all that is you have such a mess of emotions going on internally, and you don't even know how to begin to work through those. It could be anger, it could be shame, it could be a bunch of different things, sadness, and so on. And the thing is that a lot of people, when they reach that place of feeling stuck, they, recognize that they may have some bad habits they need to fix, or they have some life circumstances they need to figure out that are a little bit challenging. They tend to kind of shut down. And the thing about being shut down is they, claim that they have this sense of being numb. And for me, a lot of the time when I get myself in a pattern of dysfunction, whether it be I have like, procrastination, or I'm like lacking discipline in a certain area and it's causing me pain, I tend to kind of numb out. And what that actually is it's not that you are numb, it's that you have much going on internally, whether it's your feelings or thoughts, that you don't even know where to begin to like unpack those things. And yeah, the lesson today I kind of want to share with you is that when you find yourself in those periods, you've got a choice to make. You can choose to continue to carry that pain of regret, or you can choose the pain of the discomfort of figuring out what it is that's causing you to trip yourself up, and lean into the pain of discipline to keep yourself consistent in the things that you could do to help yourself out of a certain situation. Yeah, I just want to kind of educate you on a couple different things. So when it comes to shame, we talked about that a second ago. Shame is the lowest emotion that you can feel. Shame is, they talk about, vibration. If you're a high vibration person, then that means you're living in happiness and gratitude and these different things. And if you're a low vibration person, that means you're often living in anger and hate and sadness and that sort of thing. But what they don't tell you is that shame is the very lowest emotion. And when you're stuck in shame, it's impossible for you to get yourself out of maybe a dysfunctional pattern or habit that you have. It's impossible for you to connect with another person. Maybe you're going through challenges in a relationship, or you have a conversation you need to have with somebody about whatever it may be, because that happens in life. Or maybe you're just pissed off at yourself because you're not where you want to be. The quicker you can move yourself out of that shame, the faster you're going to be able to actually figure out what it is that's causing you to trip yourself up, and have the awareness it's going to take to get yourself out of a certain situation that may not be where you want to be. And what I'm learning in my life at the moment is the best thing that you can do in these moments where you feel stuck is almost like a dichotomy. It's two things. On one hand, you need to create space. You need to create time for you to kind of decompress, to get out of, your situation, to speak, to get perspective, to take time to, grab your journal, write some things down about what's going on in your head and in your life. Maybe it's going for a walk to clear your head, or going to exercise, especially, just doing things for yourself and creating that space for you to be alone with your thoughts and have the time to process what's going on at any given moment in your life. It's like, don't push yourself too hard. Give yourself that time to sort through whatever's going on internally, because if you bury it, it's just going to come up later. Then on the other hand, the other part of the dichotomy is that You need to do hard shit. You need to almost like choose the way you want to suffer. You can alleviate your suffering rather than sit in your shit and the shame and the frustration of whatever it is you're going through at this given moment. You can go choose a different form of suffering, which will help you to almost break through to yourself and start to rebuild that trust and confidence with yourself. An example of that could be starting a new routine or accomplishing some form of challenge. You hear a lot of people that nowadays talk about 75 hard and these different things. It could be having a conversation you've been avoiding. And I actually want to talk about avoidance really quick, because a lot of the time when you find yourself in these cycles of being stuck and frustrated with yourself, it's due to avoidance. Maybe you're avoiding something you know that you need to do in order to accomplish a goal, or maybe you're avoiding a conversation with a person because you know it's going to be uncomfortable and you don't quite have the words to say yet. Maybe you're avoiding admitting to yourself that you have bad habits when it comes to your finances, or maybe you have this like substance abuse problem, or you're avoiding whatever. And people in general, avoidance is a tricky thing, because whatever you avoid doing or avoid kind of like facing in your life, you're giving that thing power. If you can choose the type of suffering you want to endure, whether that's the suffering of life kicking you in the nuts and you kind of spiraling, or the suffering of you digging yourself out of it by, on one hand, creating space for yourself, doing the hard work of figuring out what's going on internally, and on the other hand, leaning into the things that make you uncomfortable, whether that's going and doing a really, really hard workout and pushing yourself till you want to puke just to like express that energy and to remind yourself of how badass you are. Maybe it's, leaning into new routines and doing things that are new to you that you haven't quite done before, building character in different ways through new skills, through new experiences and different things like that. Anyhow, the lesson of today is, in life, you are going to have pain no matter what. You're going to have pain from your experiences. You're going to have pain from, your regrets, and you're going to have pain due to the discomfort that you choose to put yourself through, or that life will inevitably put yourself through. And my message today is to lean into pain. Don't be afraid of it, and choose it for yourself. Like, don't wait for life to bring it to you, because typically that's in the form of hard life lessons, such as the one I spoke about earlier, that the pain of discomfort and discipline are nothing compared to the pain of regret. The feeling of letting yourself down and knowing you could be more is one of the most painful things, and that's something I'm still learning to work through myself. And when I make this video today, I'm not trying to say that I have it all figured out, because I don't. However, I will say I'm committed and actively engaged in the process of working through these things as they show up at different levels in my life. Initially it was the inability to even break bad habits, such as not being able to get out of bed, or stuck watching pornography, or all these different things. And then it was working on my business and overcoming the fear of getting myself out there and talking to people, and the fears of making more money and these different things. And now as I step into my purpose, I have this whole other level of this stuck feeling, or these different patterns and stuff like that coming up. And it's kind of like the whole different levels, different devils thing. All you can really do is get tooled up, that when life brings you these things, or when you seek them for yourself because you're in a period of growth, that you're prepared. And again, just to recap, I know this is long-winded, but the two things that you can focus on when you are feeling stuck and when you're having a lot of pain in your life is creating space so you can go work through your shit, and to find versions of pain that you're choosing. That way you can not only like build your character and build skill sets and different attributes, so to speak, for yourself to help you to handle life's challenges, but because then you're able to channel some of that, lower vibration energy, shame, anger, frustration, all that stuff into something better for you. Anyways, I'm curious, what is it that is making you feel stuck now? Feel free to throw it in the comments down below. And you can check the link in my bio. I've got this awesome community that I'm building. And the goal is to start holding in-person events and have this awesome online community where people are supporting each other on their journey to become the best version of themselves. Anyways, hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.